John. It's Wednesday today, 3rd of September 2014. Just continuing from yesterday on 61 Cook Street. This is a video to Notary, the Minister of the Serious Fraud Office in Auckland. To you, Notary, and your ministers there. You've got your director, Julie Reid, and your managing director, Carol Palmer. This is for the corporate services and your office for serious fraud cases like this one that's been going since 2009 of land transfer of 61 Cook Street here. I've been saying quite a bit about it, and it's also been sent to the Serious Fraud Office in London yesterday. David Green, for his side of the Westminster Parliament. So you've got New Zealand Parliament here on the Queen's side of her head of state jurisdiction, and then you've got Westminster jurisdiction for this block of land, because it's a Crown land, the origins of a British title. These are the lands through the Greater Auckland area that were confiscated from the New South Wales government, that's your government in Wellington, at that time of this 61 Cook Street. The names on that title have excluded the names of the original landowners, the Manukau tribesmen of Puponga at Cornwallis, Huia, in the Manukau Harbour. Those names are the origins of the Manukau Land Company, a real estate company in Glasgow, who put the titles together here from Britain for these lands in Auckland, pre-sold to immigrants from Britain straight here in 1840. Now the Manukau were here when the British arrived in the Manukau Harbour, were evicted off their lands. Okay, they were evicted off their lands through instruments of King William IV, conveyancing titles of land transfer that the Scottish, British part of the Crown applied to these lands as if they owned them, and the Manukau's were booted off their land. Now, the Manukau's have got 3 birth certificates registered at that time, 1830, well before, 10 years before 1840, the British, the only British that are legally, as far as they're concerned, arriving here. And all the ones here already were illegal. That's why they confiscated, the British confiscated all those titles and reissued them, Notary, as second-hand titles without surveying the land blocks here in the New Auckland at Puponga, Manukau. Puponga being the settlement where the British landed on the dry soil with their Union Jack flag from Britain, the British flag. And this flag here was not flown at that time, because this was 1835. When King William's reign was 1830 to 1837. We are using his Acts of Parliament in our MOAI Crown Federal State Government under this flag of jurisdiction of Admiralty and Notary. Straight from Westminster jurisdiction under the SFO, Serious Fraud Office Minister, David Green. Okay, so two different jurisdictions happening here. Ours is ours here on the land. This flag was given on dry land with a 21 gun salute. Okay, and your one in Wellington with John Key is still high and dry on the seabed, right out there on the sea, high seas. Union Jack flag. That. It wasn't given on the land. Okay, it wasn't given. It was already this one up and flying. So that's the legacy of where I'm coming from with this whole fraud business on 61 Cook Street that I'm talking about. I want to rattle off here in front of you what I've written, just so that we don't miss anything, as I'm treating this as a fraud case reported to you, that we will be doing this, conducting this case ourselves in our higher jurisdiction than your New Zealand Parliament sovereignty of an assumed Queen of England, who's now a defaulted convicted criminal felon in the World Court. Okay, so now your accessories, all of you who've got the Queen's head on your documents of Admiralty title under the Supreme Court of the Governor of the Church of England, Queen Elizabeth II, Supreme Governor of the Church of England title, while she's a convicted criminal felon in the High Court, in the World Court, with your sealed documents. Okay, that's what I'm saying. On this title here, it's still got her head on it, and she's no longer in Westminster Parliament anymore. She's in the European Union Parliament with our trust, our Queen Victoria 1844 trust that she's run off with the money out of Westminster, off the soil land of England with her legal papers. So that makes you nothing to do legally with Westminster, which is defaulted, right? Defaulted on the sovereignty and the monarchy to this flag of King William IV Admiralty jurisdiction of all the mortgage and lien titles on every piece of land in the Commonwealth countries. And I am in charge of that trust as the new head trustee. I've put myself in there, nominated by Matt Taylor, who's waving this flag around, and Tully, and your ministers, and John Key, and the Governor General of England, of New Zealand, Jerry Matiparai, right? They're waving this flag around more so now, and lots of flags over here. The Chinese are starting to make a lot of these flags, and you'll have to look for another flag when your elections come, because you can't use your Union Jack again, because I think the British have said you can't use it anymore. You see, because that was one of your things, trying to find a new constitution or alter that one which doesn't belong to you. It belongs to this flag and us, okay, the Hapu and King William 1852 constitution. Okay, so I'm just telling you where we stand with this block of land. If you do not reply or respond to me in front of the whole world watching this video and our documents that I send you today on an affidavit to respond, if you don't, then it's used as evidence on Facebook in front of the whole world. Over 1 billion people watch Facebook all the time. It rolls over all the time, and it's admissible evidence in the High Court of Admiralty in London. Judge David Lindsay Mackey. So if you look on my Facebook, you'll see me getting a reply yesterday from Christy Irving, who's his clerk, secretary, right? He's the highest judge in the world, that one, okay? This is what we're dealing with here, with this complaint of this land that has your titles on it, and this transfer. The Lins have made a bad title mistake, right? A bad fraud title mistake, and Tolly, right? You were the Minister of Education before and you switched to this. You see, you're not going to get this one wrong after Judith Collins has made a big stuff up and fraud inside her head as the Minister of Police had to go. Why? Because she's in a big scam and she was responsible for the police oath of office. And Tolly, you know that one. I've caught you both before the Queen signed the Lisbon Treaty on the 16th of July 2008. Right? It's in affidavits that you people got from me. Right? You look right back, you got an affidavit from me locking you in contract with this flag and me. Okay? That's a contract, a commercial lien contract against your debtors' levy names that I'm wanting you to answer today. Okay? You've got today and tomorrow to answer me, because if you don't, I'll take that as a consent to everything I'm saying, and the highest authority over you and your jurisdiction of your parliament. Okay? The MOAI, Crown, Federal or State, Admiralty jurisdiction rules over these lands and Lin's titles and Crown titles in the Commonwealth. And Tolly, I'm just expressing to David Cameron, Prime Minister of Britain, and his Secretary of State, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Commonwealth, Philip Hammond, that those two have to go. When the Queen is a fraud, they're a fraud. And so are you. I'm accusing you of linked conspiracies to her and the Pope and Evelyn Rothschild and the 300 royal families. Okay? With their flag. King William IV shall prevail when all else has failed. And you have failed in your oath of office. It's changed again. I've asked the police here, your ministers here, and your superintendent, Mike Clement. Who is he swearing his oath to? He says, look, John, you've got jurisdiction. I have no jurisdiction over you. That's the area district commanding officer here in Auckland of the police. And then Aaron Pascoe. He's the criminal investigator of terrorism, and he's the senior superintendent, senior detective of the criminal division of the Auckland Central Police Station. I mean, the only one in this country that's applied this martial law to Tuhoi, our people, right, and failed. You see, Tolly, you paid him and paid them out, paid those Maoris out, because he made a bad mistake. And we're not about to see another bad mistake on 61 Cook Street because of the fraud title worse than that. Worse than that. Okay? So I'm just saying that they're dicing with the King's rule of law. One of those acts we're using is the Hanging in Chains Act on anyone who plays around with these titles that we're issuing. Okay? We're issuing titles on these land blocks in place of the fraud titles. Okay? We have our own British titles to go on that block of land. So, that's what I'm saying. With your oath of office, I still haven't got an answer of who your police are swearing that oath of office to, if it's not the Queen. And who are you in Parliament swearing your oath to? If it's still the Queen, then you're accessories to her fraud. It's all over the news, it's all over the world, except your media news. Doesn't put it on television, but it's in alternative news straight from the World Court. Okay? So now, I'll just read what's said here. With the police oath of office here in Auckland. Now, they're locked in a commercial contract with me. Anybody who interferes with this title on 61 Cook Street. And Holly, anybody who interferes with it is dragged into a $5 billion levy, debtor's instrument, okay, of mortgage. Okay, we don't put the mortgages together in the conveyancing instruments together. He did it. Nobody else. He did it under this flag. Okay, if anybody's using that flag, and Holly, they're in real trouble. Okay, including the Queen. If she's using this flag, you're in trouble. If you fellows are using this flag and King William seal, you're in trouble. Okay, so what law are you using under the Queen of England when she's not in Westminster anymore? Right? So she had no jurisdiction. You've got no jurisdiction from Britain. Absolutely nothing now, as far as I'm concerned, legally. Nothing. And separation of powers. That she's gone without trust. She's a thief now, alleged thief for stealing our trust money. That's the 750,000 tonnes of gold, imperial tonnes of gold, and it's over 1 million tonnes of gold as far as Karen Hudes is concerned. She's the lawyer and counsel general for the World Bank. Okay, so she's after that trust money and the gold too. Right? When it's not hers, it's ours. Okay, and the bill for you and your government, right, and all you fraud people is 970 million trillion pounds in gold bullion. Okay, that's your bill. That you're sharing with the 61 Cook Street, and all your politicians are going to share that bill that are put out. It's in the statements, and there's nothing you can do because I'm speaking for the King of England. Okay, I've been nominated the King of England. You know what? I took the job on, and I'll play that part until the Lords decide, the good Lords decide on another king they want. But this king is worth every penny and halfpenny that he's going after, right? The king's woken up now. He was silent before. If you look in your court documents, the king was silent. Now the Queen ran away. It's left the king to wake up and start talking. That's why I'm talking. That's why I'm talking. Who's going to say not to? Because we're a legal partner in this contract, right? We have a contract, for goodness sake, with a 21 gun salute here of this flag. And we've got a memorial of the MOAI statue that Helen Clark put on a beach in Wellington to claim the foreshore and seabed. That happens to be my family, stupid, and one in Auckland, okay? The MOAI statue here in Auckland in the museum, and one in Dunedin. Right? 1953, they put one over there with a crown on his head. That's the real crown. And Tolly, it's not a piece of metal junk on a head of a queen. That's coronations is corrupt. Coronation on her head. Right? All the fraudy things that the Queen has done is starting to ooze out with all the paedophiles that we can allege. They're getting caught. 600 of them. Over 600 of them. And Tolly, and there's a few more in your parliament that we're going to root out. Right? I'm making a real statement here that you have to deny me saying that in front of you. I'm accusing you and your face already in the box on the wanted for crimes of church and state. Okay? Your name's in the box already. All of you politicians, what do you do? Nothing about it. So this gives you another chance to say something. Because if you don't, it's law. It's real law. When the elections come, we can go in there and swoop on top of you with this flag. Okay? Because you've got no flag of sovereignty of your own. And you have no flag of monarch of your own. You borrowed the Queen and now she's going to get hung. Okay? Hung under the Hanging in Chains Act of King William IV. Okay? But she's a threat. She's a threat to the British Westminster. Right? And Alexander, the Scottish, we're waiting for him to put his flag up as an independent state with this flag. This is a crown, you've got a king, and you've got a memorial statue standing in London, the MOAI earth god's face, stuck deep in the ground on East Island. That's why it's in there up to his neck. And Tolly, you see, there's nobody else got that statement of claim to this planet Earth. Instead of you and your stolen pyramid, and I in the pyramid on the money that's falling apart at the seams, the US dollar and the stupid popes who've been fucking kids all their life are going to get hung under the Hanging in Chains Act. You see, I'm telling you the truth story. God's truth is your word, Anthony, against my word. Right? That's God's law. L-O-R-E. Right? That's between me and you. You open your mouth and say something to me, because if you don't, everybody knows you're a liar and you are a criminal running this country, land of ours, and king, contract, right? Fraud, contract. You and the Queen, contract, fraud with Westminster, out, right? They won't have a bar of you now because of what you're doing, right? We just have to catch you in the fraud. And the oath of office caught you in the fraud, and Judith Collins. She's going to lose all her milk company and her Chinese company. Going to take it to pay her bill for her fraud. Okay? And you'll share it too, because you picked up on the fraud of the oath of office, saying all those people who were convicted from that date that the Queen was no longer sovereign here, you had no sovereignty in your parliament. You know, I sent you letters to tell you, do not open parliament because you've got no sovereignty and no Queen. Well, you open parliament. John King, open parliament. That's 2 treasons. He's caused 2 treasons. Right? We sacked you lot at Waitangi, right in front of the Governor General, and then sacked him and Tolly. And what do? Ignored that order from me, the King. Okay? You ignored that order. That's the other treason. Okay? That's the other, against our hapu natives, owners of this land block, 61 Cook Street, that I'm talking about Simon Roundtree and James Brown. If they're going to try and defend that lot, they have to pay ground rental. Okay, and Holly? And ground rental interest payments to the Queen. She ain't getting no more interest payments for occupying this land anymore. Because you know why? It's coming to the King of England and me to pick that up off those tenants and every other tenant in this country. And Tolly, It ain't going to your administration of fraud linked to the Queen as accessories to her fraud. So you've got your fraud, this fraud with Doug Rikard-Bell and Chris Finlayson, Robert Muir, the Land Register General, the Surveyor Register General, Robert Endrell, Don Grant, the boss of Lynn's, who forged the Little Road and put the investors' money into the Little Road, then got rid of them, and then got rid of us at the same time, the real landowners, Manukau, Parapara, Wānoa, MOAI, right, and Kafaru, got rid of us and stuck your own titles in Wellington on and Te Apiahai Kawau and Tinana and those other names that don't appear on the British titles. You see, the British won't want to be liable for this bill of 970 million trillion pound. No, it didn't go bullion, Miss Ann Tolly. Okay? I'm just expressing to you your bill. You're going to have to pay it, all of you, in there before we boot you. Okay? I'm speaking for the King of England, okay, and Matt Taylor on that end. Right, we've got the separations of power and the signature of Don Grant. That's one fraud, right? That's a fraud of this land title. That's the fraud, right, of altering. The Crown interfered with this contract and that contract. And Holly, if you know anything about contract law, my family is contract law Rogans. Okay? Dick Rogan and John Rogan put the titles and the conveyancing instruments together here in this country before all of your lot came here. Don't argue, because those are my family. Right? They were married my family. Dick Rogan married my great-great-grandmother, Oraiti Wānoa. And John Rogan married Mohi Manukau's great-great-grandmother, Mariah Manukau. There. That's it. That's it. Now, where's your lot in that title? That's a British title, not your parents in Australia and Doug Rikard-Bell and Jamie Peters and all these other ones flicking around with these titles here. You know, you're playing around with our titles. And Holly, right? You play around, and that Graham Smith down the East Coast, they play around. There's another Australian pirate, and Bruno Clausen, and Brian Wood, right? And a few others, Makachis. All those people who've been dicking around with me. You'll find the British titles are going to take over now the Queen is gone. Right? Didn't know that was coming, did you? You didn't know that was going to happen. Right? We were waiting for the right time to strike. And now's the time. So we've got Glasgow title here. Contest. No one refuted. And no one has ever refuted. Over 3,000 affidavits about these titles in Auckland. You all went ignorant. Ignorance is going to cost you all that money, I said. And each of those bills that I've got up against your names, okay, you're going to have to pay it. And levy against forever and a day, forever. Okay? You won't escape that. David Mackey is the High Court of Admiralty judge in London. Got the notice from me yesterday. He's got our first complaint in 2009 before Jamie Peters sold that property by foreclosure. David and John Bailey sold it, okay? Against me saying don't sell it. You're going to cost you. You're going to cost you. So it started from then to David Lindsay Mackey, the highest court judge in the world in the Admiralty Court. All mortgages are under the flag. They're Admiralty law in that court, right? To sail across the sea, to come from Britain to here and the Commonwealth. Use this man's titles. Okay? Okay? That's what I'm saying. You're losing. Right. There's David Mackey, he got the letter. SFO got the letter yesterday. And you're getting it today. Gary Davey, one of your men, the detective inspector, referred to from Philip Taylor, the CID in Otahu, looked after my case in London and Thai in 2009. Okay, he looked after another fraud case and was successful in finding it was a fraud. Now, because he said to me it's not his area to go and count, I'm waiting for Gary now, Gary Davey, to give me his answer that there is a fraud. No one's telling me it's a fraud, because if no one tells me it's a fraud, it is a fraud. Okay, because can't tell me, you either won't tell me, it will affect all of your existence, right? When the truth is known that it is a fraud linked to another fraud, to all the fraud of every piece of earth, land in this country, in the Commonwealth and Britain. Every piece of land and the Vatican, and America, and Canada, and Australia. Every piece of land is affected by this one entirely. You think I know anything about land? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's my real estate ticket. Look, you see, there, Riviera, okay, and Epsom in downtown Auckland, okay. So I do know everything about land titles. And there's our lawyer. He's a notary, public, okay. You Taek Choi, okay. He's a notary that signed the documents, signed these documents, these titles, before they went to the High Court of Admiralty in London. He signed it off, okay? So it's gone through the system. So do not fool around with me, or him, and Dixon's, okay? Dixon's lawyers are the international contract lawyers in the Pacific and New Zealand Pacific Islands, okay? And you Taek Choi is part of that company, okay? He's part of that company as a consultant, right? MBA LLD, okay? You Taek Choi, South Korea. He's working with us in the biggest companies for the tidal energy project, turbines in the sea for hydrogen, okay? So he's no little man. He's got everything. And then we have Graham AYLETT. Okay, Graham AYLETT is a private investigator. I'm a private prosecutor, by the way, generally. I'm very good at private prosecutions like Graham McCready. But I can go a bit further than he can with having titles and a monarch. Me, a monarch, okay? Like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Anyway, that's Graham AYLETT. And he's an ex-UK detective sergeant that's contracting to us to go and seize 61 Cook Street. If I don't hear from you, we're going to seize it. Right? I'm giving them enough rope to hang themselves before we bring the Hanging and Chains Act in. We can use any of those acts of execution on the dock. Okay, we've got that right under this flag to go back to 1838-37. Those are our acts. We haven't altered them. Right? We haven't used this flag yet, and we're just starting to go into commercial contracting business entirely with this flag, right? As the creditor of all that commerce that King William put his 50 years together in the Navy and devised this Admiralty court-martial law to protect his business from one country to the other, free passage through the world. With that flag, okay? With this flag and a banking instrument as mortgage to borrow money from the Bank of England that King William III legislated the Act of the Bank of England with John Patterson. Okay? Put that act, William Patterson put that act together. And then you got John Patterson over there with Matt Taylor in that family inside. Alright, and Polly, we know what we're doing here, taking back control of our administration over the Commonwealth countries with this flag. And Alex Salmon and his Scottish, goodness sake, blow the bag for us. Okay, so that's Graham AYLETT, who is waiting for my instructions as a creditor to seize any piece of land I so wish at my command, Miss Anthony. So, just to let you know, we mean business for the King. For the King is everything. King's royal ready to collect all that is owed for the offences, the fraudy offences in the world. Right. You're the Isabel Sheriff Court Office in New South Wales government, in Australia and New Zealand. Okay? With the Queen as accessories, like we said, and 61 Cook Street is the point in question here for you. I just want to clear the matter with those two owners there. I've already told them to vacate the property, and the tenants, I made a video yesterday, you can see too as well today when I send this letter to you, and this video, and everybody's watching it as well on Facebook. Okay, so no one escapes MOAI. Everything's right out in front of everybody in the Commons. Okay, it's locked. Everything's locked in time. Right? So it'll always be there. So that's somebody wanting to come in. Wait. The boss. Hello? Okay. That's our mate. You see? He's come to carry on with the business. So, we're going to finish off now. I'll finish off this video. And I've said enough to you and Polly. So, just to let you know, the latest with this land block. We're going to end the whole thing now and move in and reoccupy. Now, one more time, those tenants will pay for the occupation of that land to us, the administrators of that land block, under King William the Fourth administration, straight to Westminster. Okay, so we're acting Westminster dual government here right now, under this flag right now. The flag will go up on the land, up, and the building and everything that's going to be built there with the tidal energy projects. Wait there, mate. Wait. Tidal energy projects on the East Cape of the North Island, New Zealand. So that'll do for now, and I'll expect to hear from you today or tomorrow anytime. Thank you very much. Bye for now. Have a nice day.